yes, we're back with another banger, y'all. Listen, we've been through this a lot of times, right? Goku, Saitama, we even reacted to Chuck's video on this same exact topic. And from my personal opinion, I said, Saitama, after this feat, he probably scales up until Buu Saga. At least Buu Saga. Super Saiyan 3 Goku. And even that is kind of a stretch. Feel me? Because, you know, Dragon Ball universe, infinite in size. The universe itself is infinite in size. Kid Buu could destroy it. And then Super is just a whole different animal. So Saitama doesn't even step in that realm. I've said this so many times. Saitama's hearts just don't understand. Well, Seth is going to explain literally everything. Alright? So, if you're new, you like my reactions, you want to see more of my reactions, I'm not even being toxic. At this point, it's just being logical at this point. Alright? You're going to hear what he has to say. I'm going to just chime in my little, my little thoughts, because I've been saying this, that Saitama's feats are sus. They're so suspect and they're kind of weak. But they're super impressive. You know, for his standards. For Dragon Ball standards, not really. It's not that impressive. I'm not trying to downplay nobody. I'm not trying to do none of that. I'm just letting you know that what he's doing is not that special. Alright? So, subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 30,000 subs. Let's get to it.
June 5th, 2021. I uploaded Goku vs. Saitama, The Honest Truth.
I remember that.
Which I gave my honest opinion on the scaling of Goku and Saitama and compared them, what I thought of the entire argument, etc. We went over Saitama being an endgame level protag at the start of his story, and how he had a lot more to show us in the future. The conclusion of that video was that unfortunately at the time, Saitama had not shown enough for us to really concretely say, for 100% certainty, what his maximum strength was. And Goku at the moment had shown more powerful things.
I've been trying to tell people that, like, at that point in time, Saitama hasn't shown nothing. Oh, he split some clouds. Oh, he jumped from the moon. That's not that impressive. You're not doing nothing special. You're not doing nothing special, all right? You basic feats. You're not showing that you're faster. You're not showing that you have more strength. You didn't show none of that. None of the feats that you guys said from season 1 compared to Dragon Ball Super Goku to start, show that he can actually beat him in a fight. The whole thing of, oh, he's a gag character, he's a parody character, so he's meant to beat. No. You can't even use that. That's out the window. No.
But as of the writing of this video, on August 15th, 2022, Saitama has in fact shown his true strength against an opponent known as Cosmic Fear Garo. This is the manga adaptation of the webcomic battle, but now with massively higher feats, scaling, lore, implications, and so on than the original. So, to answer the title of this video, yes, everything has in fact changed. One thing I want to preface with this video is I'm not making this to dunk on any fandom or be too crazy with this update video. These days, it seems like I'm kind of in everyone's head when it comes to Goku versus Saitama, and whether it's people that love my opinion or even despise it, it seems they both equally want to hear what I have to say about the new chapters
We do want to hear what you have to say. Actually, I gotta react to that too.
Of One Punch Man and how it applies to my previous works. Some people even going as so far to say that me not talking about it is a huge problem. I think the most titanic change to the debate at the moment concerning Goku versus Saitama is it seems that one shot everyone because of the funny argument people have been running has been severely crippled by the new chapters, with Saitama having an action.
Didn't I not say that in my last couple of videos that, hey, listen, he can't one-shot people who are legitly, like, they're strong. Like, he can't do it. He really can't. Like, notice how he had to go back in time and fight a much weaker Garo to end him. That wasn't even the Garo with the massive power boost, the stolen techniques. It wasn't even that Garo. It was just the Garo who had, like, the little power-up from God. Well, the massive power-up from God, but he didn't have, the other guy, what's his name? Who we thought that was Saitama in the future. I forgot his name. He has like the little portals and shit, and he could teleport people places. You know who I'm talking about. I don't remember his name. But yeah, it wasn't even that Garo. It wasn't even the Garo who's like leveling up, matching Saitama's power level. It was the Garo at the start of the power that he got from God. It wasn't even the super strong version of Garo. This was the strong version of Garo, not the super strong one, if that makes sense.
Actual serious full power battle against Garo, and not only meeting someone who could reach and understand his level, but having to become stronger to defeat Garo in mid-fight, implying he wasn't strong enough to one-shot him whenever he wanted to.
Thank you. Right? I've said that he's trying. Legit, he had to keep getting stronger so he could actually eventually beat him. Right? He had to try. The whole argument of him not trying, he tried. He got the massive power boost because he was mad. He was trying. He wasn't trying to kill him. He still didn't kill him. Even when he went back in time, he still didn't kill him. He was still alive. So it's like he had to figure out something. He can't just one-shot people. It showed every time a new opponent who got stronger, usually a hit from Saitama kills you. Couldn't do that to Garo.
At that point of growth. The fight also, while having some comedic moments such as Saitama kicking away hyperspace gates or farting back to the battlefield, was overall much more serious in tone, with Saitama being stated by the narrator to actually be so emotional that it's increasing his powers as he fights. Fun fact about that farting back to the fight moment, by the way, did you know that a long time ago, Murata, the artist of One Punch Man, was actually asked what would have happened if Boros kicked Saitama into space, but he didn't slam into the moon, and it was actually said that Saitama probably would have just farted back to Earth or something, so that scene was actually kind of a pretty funny callback, and very Murata-esque for those that keep up with all the interviews. The only other argument people have now for Saitama being a limitless, omnipotent god one-shot character is that while fighting Garo, Garo states he has limitless power and limitlessly grows stronger.
I could honestly say he probably only said that because he doesn't see an end to his strength for him. But for anybody else who is above Saitama, they're like, okay, yeah, he's pretty strong. Garo at that time, during this fight, he was trying to keep up. He just kept seeing Saitama keep getting stronger and stronger. That's why he kept saying it was infinite. Doesn't mean that he's actually infinite, from what I've seen.
However, this limitless is clearly not some level of omnipotence or above fiction level power, and the limitlessly growing stronger statement we actually see being highly linear and quantifiable when shown on an actual graph. Others have pointed out that some of these lines are actually mistranslated, with the Ra's more so being Garo just calling Saitama very strong, etc., which probably makes more sense. Saitama growing stronger during fights, of course, doesn't mean he can one-shot anybody in fiction either, and even within Dragon Ball, such as Broly, who goes from the likes of base Vegeta to requiring a fusion of both Goku and Vegeta and Super Saiyan Blue to defeat in probably a matter of minutes, even Super Saiyan 1 through 3 is a 400 times difference by itself, with then Super Saiyan God being able to one-shot Super Saiyan 3, and Blue being over 50 times stronger than Super Saiyan God, due to just literally being Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. With their fusion being their power levels quite literally just multiplied and back during the Namek saga in Dragon Ball Z, let alone Super. You can see why Broly's increase is actually pretty insane, and a bit more impressive than the likes of Saitama.
I told people that it's kind of comparable, but Broly literally went from fodder to God tier in a matter of seconds, bro. Matter of minutes it took him. And then he was almost rivaling Gogeta Blue at one point. Almost. But Gogeta said, no, let me just put it into this, because I ain't going to toy around with you, because you get too damn strong, too damn fast. All right? His growth was insane. Saitama's growth, not so much, because Garo wasn't really a universal buster. He's not doing none of that.
And growing a few times stronger on this graph. Now, you might be thinking that, well, Broly kind of did overpower Goku, so what's the issue? Well, we need to get into how strong Saitama actually...
And you know the crazy argument is that, oh, well, Saitama wasn't trying against Garo. I mean, Goku and Vegeta wasn't trying to kill Broly at all either. So, All right.
Is now for me to explain why, and I'm more so just getting this he grows stronger forever thing out of the way in advance.
Thank you.
Last time we went over how strong Saitama was, his main form of grounded scaling based on feats actually performed in the series was centered around Lord Boros. To remind you, Boros was capable of launching Saitama at the moon at the speed of light or faster, and was capable of either A, blasting the surface off the planet using the webcomic statements with his full power, B, capable of destroying the planet using the anime statements, or confirmation from the data books and One Punch Man Blu-ray's Compass Guide, or C, capable of destroying entire stars, as based on or implied by, once again, the compass. Which, while it uses the same word for Boros' power in the Raws as planet or star, Hoshi, it says that Boros' base form can destroy planets as well, so the translator made his limit broken form translate to star, as he should probably be stronger or do something different than his base form. With these current chapters of One Punch Man, Boros being able to destroy stars no longer seems like the higher ball interpretation, and even when Saitama could one-shot that attack anyway with a serious punch. Cosmic Fear Garo was capable of manifesting Saitama's strength, and thus able to trade serious blows with an arguably bloodlusted Saitama and beyond his normal full powers. During these clashes, Bang has to get help from interdimensional fighters to transport the results of their clash far into space, or else the Earth would have been vaporized. This clash is then shown to make...
If he could sneeze, right, and spreads Jupiter's gases all over the place and we can see the core, imagine him sneezing on Earth, bro. All of this would have been away. Water probably would have fell off the planet and freeze in space.
Making a massive cluster, or at least millions of stars in the background, seem to vanish, making even the harshest skeptics now on board with Saitama being able to either obliterate many solar systems to possibly multiple galaxies, depending on who you ask. With the added punch of Garo, there are some detractors for this, claiming that he only obliterated the light of the stars, and the stars were shown unharmed in later panels, and blah blah blah. But for this video, I don't want to seem like I'm trying to downplay Saitama or try to make it even seem remotely so. For this video, we'll be granting him that feat in full, no matter how debatable some may think it is. So not only does Saitama possibly obliterate tons of solar systems or even many galaxies, but he then grows many times stronger after this, meaning not only does he eventually gain the ability to easily do this feat on his own, even without Garo, but the ability to do many times more than this on his own. This is very impressive, giving Saitama finally some empirical weight to his abilities outside of...
It's about time that his feats became actually a lot better, because before his feats were sus and he could not mess with that man Goku. He gets obliterated easily. This, he still gets obliterated, but like it's more concrete now. Like it's, you want to see later in the video what Steph says, and it's hilarious.
Speculation that can finally really be compared to other fictional series, especially since this is confirmed Saitama's maximum, and if anything, beyond.
So this was right here was confirmed to be Saitama's maximum power. So I don't want to hear people say, "Oh, this is not Saitama's maximum power." It clearly is. This is his max. He's going full power.
His maximum. If you were to throw this Saitama in, say, the Dragon Ball Cell games, he would more than likely easily blow that whole tournament away with ease.
Facts.
Well, not accounting maybe for speed, but we'll get into that soon. Cell, a being who could vaporize and blow away solar systems, and made some beings think he was going to destroy, potentially, the whole universe in some translations. Now, while this is probably over time, you would be very surprised at how some people think Cell could actually destroy the universe in one attack.
I say he was only solar system level, so I feel like he could destroy multiple solar systems if he really wanted to in one shot. But you know, that's just my personal opinion. To say that he could destroy the universe is crazy. He's not, no.
Statements of him having infinite power and so on even being stated. And I think it's pretty safe to say Saitama is stronger than Cell for the most part.
Yeah.
From there, even in the next saga, the Buu saga, we don't really see feats or statements on par with what Saitama did really until the ending of the Fusion saga, or if you use the anime version of the Buu saga, where we see Majin Buu ripping apart galaxies. And where people debate if Kid Buu could have destroyed the whole universe very quickly. Goku calls it a poof. In the anime canon, which yes, the anime is canon, we see Vegito, the fusion of Goku and Vegeta, fight against Majin Buu with Ultimate Gohan absorbed. And while enraged, Majin Buu Ultimate Gohan absorbed screamed so hard that it sent shockwaves that begun to rip apart the entire living universe, and was going to spread across the whole universe, and then crush said universe with alternate dimensions. Yeah, just by yelling really hard.
Saitama don't got no feats that suggest that he could even beat this Buhan right here. Don't have no feats. He might get absorbed too.
As an example, Super Buu and Gotenks, who are vastly superior to Cell, screaming as hard as they could only open a small portal between dimensions. And here is Buhan doing that on a scale as large as the entire universe,
which is infinite in size. The macrocosm is infinite in size.
And then you can begin to see why Saitama's new feats start to look a little bit smaller.
It looks extremely small. Alright? So, Saitama fanboys, right? Listen. Your feats, in comparison to what Goku, Vegeta, Broly, all them boys, and DBS, you guys look small. No knock against y'all. Y'all just can't fight them and win.
And more questionable. Buhan even harnesses this universe-destroying power when he calms down later, and Vegito still bullies him with zero difficulty. Then with Battle of Gods, Super Saiyan God Goku then surpasses even a hypothetical Super Saiyan 3, 8 times stronger, time skip Vegito, with him and then a heavily suppressed God of Destruction Clashing Fist, then going to annihilate not just the universe, but a massive macrocosm stated to be infinite in size multiple times. With the macrocosm consisting of a planet as big as the universe, within a sky so big that heaven vanishes. That's right, the macrocosm of Dragon Ball, at least Universe 7, is so big a possible infinite universe can fit inside of it, and be so small compared to the entire thing, it actually vanishes when compared to the full thing. With Goku and Beerus then clashing fist, just like full power Saitama and Garo, but instead of making some stars disappear, they make every star disappear, all of time-space disappear, and multiple universe-sized bodies disappear.
And they clashed not one or two, they clashed like at least 3 to 4 times they clashed. And those shockwaves happened 3 to 4 times. And also, I forgot to mention that when Beerus shot that ki blast, they wasn't even in full power. Goku wasn't even at full power. Beerus was probably using 1% of his power. Now let that sink in. Let all of what just said in the video, what I said, sink into your head, right? This is not a knock against Saitama. He's just simply not strong enough to fight these characters. That's all we're saying. His feats don't suggest that he could beat them at all.
The entire macrocosm, as stated by the narrator, would become nothing. And this would include infinity as well as it is infinite in size. Considering, of course, we're not just saying limitless or infinite just mean very great, as obviously One Punch Man fans like to interpret infinity and limitless and those types of terms as true infinity, so we might as well just take Goku's infinity and stretch it to the utmost, right?
Yep.
And of course, all of these things Goku and Beerus does are not at full power. This is all common knowledge, but it is not really nailed into people's heads enough, and I don't think if they think what Saitama did is even comparable. From here, the next argument is that Saitama can grow stronger, so eventually he'd just reach Goku's level. Not only is this feat already on a level of infinity and beyond on some Buzz Lightyear already, but people underestimate how much stronger Goku actually is than this. This is the start of Dragon Ball Super, and I don't think you can really even fathom the difference between the start and the end of Super in terms of strength. In the anime, Goku absorbs all of those massively beyond universal feats or infinite feats from Super Saiyan God, and he could basically now just do them in his normal state, being able to then multiply that power by over 400 times with Super Saiyan 3 using Super Exciting God and so on, which is actually a low ball, and then multiply further beyond that by over 50 times with Super Saiyan Blue to over 20,000 times, completely ignoring Super Saiyan God's multiplier, which was shown in Battle of Gods, even lowballing and ignoring all the training he goes throughout the whole series and so on. He can then stack Kaioken times 10 on top of that and get over 200,000 times stronger.
Saitama gets worked, bro. That's just...
Then in Goku vs. Hit 2, he surpasses Kaioken times 10 in his normal blue state, meaning he can grow over 2 million times stronger if you use Kaioken times 10 by that point. Then by the Battle of Gods, and then in the Tournament of Power alone, he grows thousands of times, if not hundreds of thousands of times stronger, which I prove just in this video here, as well as this possible video as well if you're interested. Then eventually possibly getting another 1,000 times enhanced with his Master Ultra Instinct, which can shake infinity, possibly surpass his fusion, and so on and so on. I'd say that Saitama would be lucky if his anger era even let him compare with angry Majin Buu, let alone Ultra Instinct Goku from the end of Dragon Ball Super. People really don't understand the difference, and some will argue that Goku will feel Saitama's power increasing and just let him keep getting stronger and stronger. However, we don't actually know how long Saitama can keep growing. The difference between his growth and other characters' growth is small, and as we see in Dragon Ball Super with Caulifla, Kefla, or Broly, and many others, Goku only lets this go on for so long. And if we're in character, Saitama's battle increase is mainly due to his insane emotions over Genos potentially dying.
He got that Gohan rage boost. That's what he got.
Character, he wouldn't even get this much stronger anyway. So if you're taking Saitama and Goku out of character, Saitama would never grow stronger to begin with. On top of the growing stronger argument not working for the most part, and actually just being headcanon, and don't even know the real increase outside of just a few times in one fight. From here, people will desperately claim that Saitama can interact with hyperspace portals that Garo can create.
And I was waiting for Seth to get to this point just so he could explain why Goku could just, mess around with heaven and hell whenever he feels like it. So, I mean, I'm just saying, and he could exist in higher dimensions as well. So it's like, you kicking a little portal that doesn't really go nowhere. It doesn't go to a different realm or anything like that. It just takes you from one spot to another spot, and that's it. Right? So, I'm just saying, I'm just happy that he got to this point.
Hyperspace, which I pointed out on a stream when this chapter first came out, meaning more than one dimension. Now, while Goku actually...
Yeah, they try to, I read some comments saying that Saitama can exist or destroy infinite dimensions. I'm like, bro, he has never been to another dimension. Wait, has he? I'm not entirely sure. But I know that Goku shook heaven and hell while transforming to Super Saiyan 3. And that's a feat from Dragon Ball Z. Not even Super. A much, much more powerful Goku at that. And you trying to tell me, trying to convince me that Saitama his feats could mess with that. No, he can't. It's all right, though. It's okay. He's strong. He's just not as strong as this man right here. That's it.
He has many arguments for being higher dimensional already, such as the afterlife of Dragon Ball possibly being higher dimensional or whatever, or even beings from early Z like Garlic Jr. being able to actually make hyperspace portals and interact with it.
Exactly my point.
In the dead zone, it's not needed. As Garo and Saitama agree, they already attack in 3 dimensions after this, and they are simply making a portal to go places rather than actually kicking around 4D space or something.
Which he is not doing.
Of course, 4D could also just mean 3 spatial dimensions and 1 temporal dimension, and if you make a portal out of these 4 dimensions, you can travel through it. Of course, this is what our actual universe would be comprised of. And you could just then simply argue they are simply kicking around the portal that helps lead to that space. Even then, hyperspace is a massive science fiction term that many use in place of just things that are able to travel faster than light, such as how ships in many science fiction shows can leap to hyperspace to travel. The ships doing this doesn't make them higher dimensional, nor was that ever the intent, nor is interacting or generating the ability to travel or connect to hyperspace make you that strong. Many series use the word hyperspace, including Dragon Ball, and we don't ever scale it like that for many, many reasons. Interacting with dimensional portals themselves is even something Naruto can do, and many other fictions, and we never give them that benefit or that credit for doing things of that caliber. So in terms of power, no, it's probably not in Saitama's favor, but what about speed? This one is more interesting, as at the end of Saitama vs. Garo...
Alright, so timestamp this. In terms of power, Saitama vs. Goku, Saitama gets clapped. So he's not even stronger than him. And I know he's not faster than him either. So Saitama really gets his ass whooped, respectfully.
They work together to imagine universes within themselves, and using Garo's unique...
Oh, they Saitama fanboys are so funny. They try to say, oh yeah, Saitama took that technique and then went back in time himself. No, man, that's not what happened. They both did it, and then God took Garo's powers back. He took that back. He turned him into dust, and then Saitama just got sent back to back in the past to zero shot Garo from becoming who he is. But say if Saitama was to do that to somebody like Goku, he can't beat this version of Goku, so he goes back in time. You're not going to even fight the exact Goku. How time works in Dragon Ball, you start a whole new timeline. So if he was to even fight Goku, he's going to fight a different one. Not this one that he can't beat. He's going to fight something else. And that Goku might be stronger. He might be weaker. Who knows? But he ain't going to fight this one that we know.
Makeup helps Saitama travel back in time to punch Garo before the fight even began. Of course, traveling back in time itself doesn't really mean anything, but some will claim that Saitama completely breaks the speed formula by doing so, reaching...
Not really. I mean, I'll say it's more of a hack that he learned or that he used that he won't use ever again. But, if he was moving fast enough where he could go back in time, sure. But he can't do that, so...
Something we call immeasurable speed in the power scaling community, which is a level of speed beyond infinite speed, as speed is measured by speed equals distance divided by time. So if a character can freely move throughout...
I was just about to say the Flash could easily do this in his sleep. He could do this in his sleep, realistically. Saitama hasn't shown that he can even do that.
Out time, then the speed formula wouldn't apply to them and makes them immeasurable. Both Goku and Saitama have arguments for this, with Saitama's being this time travel feat with Garo, and Goku's being fighting hit while he is skipping into...
What is outplay? You play and it records. Let's record kills, assists, deaths, points, just the
to the future. With Goku, it's not totally implausible, but most don't agree with it, and even if it was accepted, it would be a very low and not completely abusable level of immeasurable speed. Say someone like Superman, who could sort of freely just go back in time when zooming around. However, even that is argued about. Example being, does making you go at the speed of light warp time and space and let you travel through time, etc., which gives you sort of a mock immeasurable speed. Not saying Superman only does this because of light speed, but these are just examples that people bring up for many other characters. Saitama's has a much weaker argument than any of them, though, as he is clearly linking and being assisted by a being connected to the flow of the universe itself to jump through time, not just running so fast he's so happy.
They try to make it seem like he could do it by himself, which is hilarious. Somebody timestamp this in the comment section. Somebody timestamp this exact moment. Because all I've seen is that, oh yeah, Saitama could go back in time. He could go back in time by himself when he was aided by Garo, who's linked to time. But you have plot armor, enemies balls deep, suggesting that he could do this by himself. Okay.
This would be a time travel technique, not a level of speed. And this...
Exactly. The difference between Goku, Flash, and Saitama is that for Flash, he could run. And that's his speed. Nobody assisting him to do that. He could just run and go back in time. Superman can fly and go back in time because of his speed. Goku, he could probably just fight somebody and just move through time because if they have time stopping power. So like, say if somebody like Goldo stop time, Goku could freely move through stop time. I promise you he could. With Saitama, on the other hand, he hasn't shown no type of speed feat that suggests that he could go back in time by himself with just his speed alone. He has to use a certain technique to do it. Just saying.
Creates a strange argument. What if Saitama, for whatever reason, decided he couldn't beat Goku in a fight, but absolutely wanted to? Could he simply travel backward in time and maybe just beat up Kid Goku or something? No, because Kid Goku's a gag character, but anyway, I'm joking. The only reason this is contentious is because of the way time manipulation and travel work in the Dragon Ball universe. Not only is the Dragon Ball universe potentially beyond infinitely larger than the known One Punch Man universe, but it also has many different rules, with traveling backward in time not affecting characters in the current time, but rather just creating a new timeline with only select techniques like Whis' ability making exceptions. Even then, many characters seem to have resistance to time, such as when Jiren is stated to be stronger than time against hit, and Goku seeming to be able to overpower the concept as well even much earlier, possibly implying that the manipulation of the flow of time won't actually affect these top fighters where they are at maximum capacity, making it even more contentious. Of course, Garo was connected with God and the flow of his universe, but in the Dragon Ball universe, or an empty neutral void, there is no void or Dragon Ball God.
There is no Dragon Ball God, but you guys, well, unless you want to count Zeno, because he's God of everything. Well, I mean, he is the God of everything.
Help Saitama or Garo understand.
But he ain't gonna help Goku with gifting him power or something like that.
The flow of the universe, if they even could. All in all, Saitama's current feats are either too weak or still really too debatable to say he'd ever really 100% slam Goku. You'd really have to rely on him being a gag character, or maybe argue he's beyond a lot of concepts and trying to argue one-shot's all a fiction and things like that. Really, you can't really rely too much on feats. But I really just want
try to tell them that you can't rely on feats for Saitama because his feats are small.
to ask, when you saw Saitama bloodlusted against Garo and going full power,
I still thought, damn, Goku's still gonna one-shot this man.
did that feel like a gag to you? Do you think that was made to make you laugh?
Nah, he was serious.
Like, was that comparable to Eddie from Ed, Ed, and Eddie just kind of accident?
Oh yeah, like nobody talks about this, but Ed, he ate the sun, bro. He ate the sun. He ate the sun. And notice how they could get hurt, and in the next panel, they're not hurt anymore.
Finally grabbing the sun and eating it like a potato chip, or Arale punching Earth, then breaking it, only for it to come back together like nothing happened in the next frame, or for her to pop Jupiter like a balloon.
Oh yeah. Listen, Arale popped Jupiter. I said Jupiter like a balloon, bro. When has Saitama? Oh, God, yeah. It's just showing you. I love when Seth brings out the feats and the facts. Feel me? Because when he do, all y'all going to be quiet. Because he went ahead and dive in and got the facts. Something that my black ass will never do because I'm too lazy. But I'm going to sit here and be the hype man because he goes around and get the facts. And when he brings out the truth, and that truth is really long, now y'all gonna be quiet. Now y'all can't argue nothing anymore because he just laid it down on you with no bias at all. There was no bias at all. He makes Chuck's videos look like butt. But, you know, here's the thing. My man got all the facts. Saitama doesn't beat Goku. We all know this. It is what it is at this point, my mans. GG's.
And I really gotta ask, what's more gag-like? Sneezing on Jupiter and blowing its gases around, or literally popping Jupiter like a balloon?
Bro, look where she's at, bro. She's on Earth somewhere. She's somewhere. And she popped Jupiter. That looked like the sun, though. Respectfully, that looks like the sun. But if that's Jupiter, damn. She's from Earth. She's on Earth, and then she pops Jupiter. Do you know how far Jupiter is from Earth, bro? And she got like a little Triton thing and popped it.
Which doesn't even make sense. Is Saitama punching Garo at full power and destroying a lot of stars somehow a really funny gag? Or
it's not a gag. He was serious. He was dead ass. He was trying. Like I've been trying to tell people. He was dead ass. He was really mad. He was serious. Him saying that he's not at full power literally makes no sense. That man was trying. It doesn't matter if he was using one hand. It doesn't matter if he was using one hand the entire fight. That man was dead ass. He only realistically uses one hand anyway. Because that's all he knows how to do. He can't really fight. He just uses one hand when he fights. You don't never see him kick. You don't never see him use more than one hand. He don't have a fighting style. He uses one punch or whatever hand that he uses, because that's all he needed.
Or comparable to SpongeBob, sort of ripping apart and destroying reality on accident when he pulled on a string for too long? Or how about when Kid Goku shattered the literal manga's paneling with Yamcha's face? Or what about when Peter Griffin put two metal detectors together and time traveled to when the universe didn't even exist? Was Garo and Saitama's time travel combo funnier or a bigger gag than Peter Griffin doing that? Probably not, well, at least not in the funny department for normal reasons. But One Punch Man is a funny series in a serious world, just as one intended, and I stand by that even today. I'd say at the moment that the current argument is if Saitama can beat Dragon Ball Z, such as the Buu Saga. I also think other debates that are really interesting is Saitama versus One Piece, Bleach, Naruto, and all of those. I'm curious what you guys think. Do you think he just stomps all of those more newer shonen series? But unfortunately, he's not quite at the absurd level or the higher level of Dragon Ball Super characters of strength quite yet. But maybe in that final God encounter, he'll reach it or even surpass it. Now,
He might, if when he fights God. He might.
Now please, stop making posts saying I'm ignoring the topic and get off my nuts.
Yeah, get off this man's beef, bro, respectfully. Yeah, we gotta wait till the theme hit. Alright, y'all. So, yeah, this is a 38-something minute video. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this video. Make sure to subscribe, smash that like button for your boy. It's me, your boy, Sue. And we're out of here, y'all. Peace. Damn.